So,
Jack and B.
Jack and B.
My character, Icy, is very, very new, completely new. She is specifically London, works very hard and has worked hard to be in the position she's in at MI6. And she has a different level of OCD that I just really find intriguing and I wanted to play for a long time. I like that.
Sort of obsession is kind of amazing.
Yes, highly obsessive.
The Jackal kind of mirrors that. And,
definitely.
That idea of the mirroring is what drew me to this series. Like, one of the things that I was so compelled by was you have these two protagonists who are both incredibly talented, incredibly passionate, and addicted to their jobs, and they are both morally compromised, and you warm to them, and yet you know they're on a one-way path to collision.
That mirroring was quite a delight to read and to know that eventually you'd see the light and the dark come together in a really interesting way.
The way that both of these people work very tactically and kind of preempt things, and they are chess players in some ways.
Yes.
And you're thinking 5 moves ahead, and there's a catharsis that comes when that move you've planned 3 steps away then gets resolved, whether it's in his assassination attempts or her predictions of his behaviors. I find it so satisfying. When you're sitting there in the winter watching this show, you do get transported all over the place.
We talked about this a lot during post, the warmth and the cold and just the stark differences between all of the locations. When you get to feel that and not just be on a soundstage completely, it's really, really special.
Which was your favourite location?
Specifically, your villa. Your house.
My gaff.
Your gaff actually was kind of nice.
That was in Croatia, and they'd sort of combined, actually, I don't want to kill everyone's fantasy, but that sort of fantasy villa is actually a combination of various people. But it was, there were moments there when we were standing by a swimming pool going, can we not just jump in?
Can we just take a little break? Exactly. Everyone just jump in, it's fine.
But no, we went to Vienna, we were in Budapest, we were all over Croatia. It was and London, of course.
Yeah.
I was so jealous.
It was really nice. It was actually really nice to frequent the places that I've known all my life, like Camden Lock, and given that its cinematic feel that it deserves, but also maintaining the grittiness of London. When I read the first 3 episodes, I thought, she's from West London. My gosh. Yeah. I was born and raised in Shepherd's Bush. She lives just off Portobello Road.
But I think that's really interesting because I, similarly, although I'm playing an elusive assassin, quite often when you play a character, I reach out to who that character is. Yeah. Whereas in the end, I was like, okay, he's basically an actor. You know, he can't just be pretending to be an actor to get away with all the stuff he's done. He's got to play the German guy at the beginning. He's got to know what he's doing. Yeah. And so I found it interesting, and it sounds similar to you, that for once I was kind of bringing a character more to myself. Does that make sense? Yes. Rather than reaching out to it. Yeah. Let's talk about prep, Lashana.
Oh gosh. I was very confident going into this. It's like, I've been a member of MI6 before the Bond. Yeah. I know about weapons. I've done loads of stunts. And then met Paul Biddis, and he was like, so these are all the classic gadgets that you could ever think of using. Pig loads, we're going to go on the street and you're going to be a spy for the day.
It was an extraordinary thing.
It really was. I loved it. Did you?
I found it so thrilling. So Paul Biddis is our brilliant ex-army consultant expert. And he took both of us, and we had these days when he taught us about surveillance and spycraft.
It formed a lot of how I developed Bianca, actually, because I hope that the audience can see the human side of both of these people, that they're in compromising, slightly impossible positions, but they make it work every time. And to know that that was, I don't know, our foundation, our structure, was nice, because whenever we got a scene, I feel like I was able to go like, oh, actually, here's a tactic we could use that is very subtle, but people within this world will recognize it. Yeah. I think that the way that we represented both of our approaches to the military were necessary, and especially being a man and a woman, it was nice that we got the balance of the two, because we don't often get to show that as women, and we don't get to show the humanities for someone like you.
One of the reasons that when I read these scripts that I instantly signed on was it was the sort of thing I like to watch. I love the genre of the spy assassin thing. I love the shape-shifting. I love the thrill of the chase. But I also care about the emotions, and I think quite often this genre particularly when you have someone that is kind of closed to the world. It's hard to make people care or feel.
I found that just reading those first 3 episodes, just feeling the humanity amidst the world.
Yeah.
Because sometimes the world can come first, and it's like, this is espionage, and this is what we're doing, and all you're going to see is the slick nature of everyone, and everyone knows exactly what they're doing at all times and has an answer to everything at all times. I like when they don't, you know.
And that idea of a really tight cord, someone that's used to this suddenly being tugged in. Yeah.
That's it, actually. I did feel like the season is like a rubber band.
Yeah.
And it's just like, how far can we pull it until it breaks?
There are so many delicious moments in the series of when these two characters brush past each other without the awareness, or both of their awareness of that. But to have this moment when Bianca is looking at what she believes is a mirror and he is on the other side, really getting to see this person who's dumbfounded him with her tenacity, the way that she's looking at herself whilst he's scrutinizing her. But
was he fearful in any way? Like, there's someone in the house?
You know what? I think his fear at that moment is the loss of his family. I think there's a sociopathic quality that he has thought he could live these two lives completely separately and has refused to connect them in his head. So I think in the moment there, the toil of the fact that his family have gone, but with her, I think he's impressed. I think it's like touche. I don't think he feels threat necessarily. He's just like, wow, because he's glimpsed her at all these different stages.
That's so interesting that you say impressed, because that's exactly what I felt in the moment.
But then mutual admiration, I mean, that's one of my favourite moments. It was when we got to share that final moment.
Yes.
And why do you do it? Because I like to win.
Yeah, so do I.
So do I.
It doesn't need to end this way.
It does.
There is great respect, certainly from his side for her.
I felt he appreciated her hard work.
I agree.
And I feel like she's just been working so hard for someone to say, well done. You did it.
And that's because no one says that to her.
No one, no. And as if she's getting that
from him
in the end.
In a really screwed up way.
By
being shot.
Yeah.